While we're waiting, you have to preheat your oven. So what I did is, I put the oven on, and we started with 175 degrees. That's basically a little bit over medium heat of the oven. And when we later on put it in the oven, we will roast it for 45 to 50 minutes on medium heat. And then for the last 40 to 50 minutes, we put it full whack 220 to get this crackling, to really get a nice crispy skin.
So outside is going to be skinny. We do that for 40 minutes so it can actually go through it to be done. And then afterwards we do the crust.
Correct. So we add the garlic. Here we have the leek, the onions, the carrots. So all we do is we sprinkle that in. And we need 5 minutes roughly to give it a chance to brown. Okay, you see that it starts to brown. The butter is nicely melting and really attacks that. And all we want is this one. Now, taking our pork. Now a lot of people say, hey, you're not searing the pork. You know, normally you could have a hot pan and you sear it on both sides to contain the juice. But this one I don't want to. I want it outside really dark, really nice. So all we're doing is we're sitting that on our bed of vegetables. Right in here, so that it doesn't touch the. I don't want it from the bottom to cook.
I see. So it won't stick there too.
Correct, because I want to put it in the oven, and the oven will take care of it. That's all we need. And one more thing we need: water. A little bit. Can you fill that with water? We need a little bit of water and we need a little bit of beer. And then we put it in the oven. That's good. So a little bit of water.
So it won't be too dry.
Correct. And always check it. If the water is basically evaporated through the oven, add some beer. This is something we love. Germans love beer. This goes in the oven 175 degrees for around 45 minutes.
Celsius.
Yep. So big pot on the same heat. All we need is butter again. We take our beef, and if you want to add some, please feel free.
Okay.
The ham comes after. Yeah. So all I'm doing is I'm just making sure that everything touches the bottom. Now I leave it for around 30 seconds. 30 seconds. All I want is to sear the outside of the beef. See the gray starts, so in around 10-15 seconds, we just stir it and bring it onto the other side.
Bring it the other side.
So then this side is seared, turn it on the other side. Then we add our onions, our ham, salt and pepper, and a lot of beer. And then it cooks slowly without any problems for around 40 minutes. Now
it's the onion parts, right? We just put it in, yeah?
Yes, please. Because otherwise it says I don't let him work.
I'm already enjoying as it is.
Okay, so we have the onions inside. Same thing, we do our ham inside. Yes, please.
Okay.
Yep. And we need salt and pepper.
Okay.
You know that? Marjoram.
Okay, I just read it as marijuana. Marjoram.
I like that. That's a good one. A little bit of the marjoram. You can use fresh, but actually dried is fine for that. A little bit of parsley flakes. And yeah, open that please.
Okay.
This is a bay leaf. Only 2 or 3 inside.
This is like for the smell and seasoning, right?
Yeah, that basically gives some seasoning. Later on we take that out. Perfect.
Okay.
So all I do is one stir, and then we add beer, and then all it takes is time.
About 40 minutes, right?
Yeah. You see that? It looks already great, but in 40 minutes
it will
look
even better. And do we add beer right now?
Yes, please.
Okay. This is the Dongku one.
That's a dark beer.
Is that enough?
No,
More.
the whole bottle.
Oh.
I will not just do a little bit.
So it's a drunken beef, actually.
Basically, it is. So you see
really good.
the head, the cream of the beer. this is what you want. You really want to cook it in beer. Dark, you smell that? It's just fantastic, huh?
Yeah, it smells like caramel.
Correct. So all we're doing is now, we put a lid on that just for the first 20 minutes.
So it can go through the beef.
It steams it first, cooks it, and when we take the lid off later on, it basically, the beer evaporates, no more alcohol, only the taste. Or even you can give that to kids, no problem. The alcohol is completely gone
Yeah,
afterwards.
because it evaporates into the air.
Correct. So, all we have to do now, big lid,
Close it
and
let
forget
it
about
cook.
that. And now you really have to work.
Okay, now we're doing the spätzle, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Spätzle is a speciality.
It's sort of like between a pasta and noodle mixed into each other, and sort of like this short, thin stuff. It's
He
sort of
actually
like
said it very, very right.
German pasta.
German pasta, correct. It's a speciality from actually Schwaben, which is the next, or actually country next to Bavaria.
It's the next state.
Next state to Bavaria.
Bayern and Schwaben. Look.
And they always fight who makes the better ones. I
Yeah.
actually was debating if I make dumplings on the show, really
Which
German
is called
dumplings,
Knödel.
which is Bavarian,
Yeah.
or if you do Spätzle.
It's
But I
more
thought
Schwaben.
about the Thai viewers. Dumplings is maybe not as known, but they love pasta. And
Dumplings
this one is
is like
something
this
you can make
bread
at home.
crumbs, and then you put it together with eggs and stuff and boil it as well.
That is correct. We
Add
add
flour.
500 grams of flour. Remove that. Have you
And-
ever broken eggs?
Yep.
Then I show you one and add the other 4. So all you do is give me 5 eggs in here.
Okay.
And you always have to normally check if the eggs are fresh, because normally you would smell them first. Today, I can guarantee you they're fresh because they were delivered this morning.
Yeah, and we
So-
went shopping ourselves. So
And a little bit of nutmeg first, just a little. Tiny little bit of salt, not too much. And
and then the water.
water. I would highly recommend don't add all the water right now.
Just keep on
because
adding.
Keep on adding, number 1. And number 2, sometimes if you add too much water, you add a little bit more flour just to get
so
the
it can
consistency
even it.
right. The most important thing is when you start, you bring it in. You don't want the lumps. You basically, you want to bring the flour in slowly. And don't worry, your time will come, because you have to later
Keep
on
doing it.
is really stirring it, and you want a really nice batter. And you see now the flour is coming in. It's starting to give a dough. It's getting harder to stir. To know when to stop is when the mass starts to bubble. So if you stop for a
does it
second,
start?
you see there are no bubbles yet.
So we have to keep on going. There's some bubbles.
1. You see? Here the bubbles come. This is important. But what you have to do is, you have to wait now for around 5 minutes. Let it rest. Let the mass bind into each other. Stir it again, and then this is done. The next 3 things we need is this, a ladle, and that one. The water starts now to boil. It really has to boil.
It's really got to be hot.
And again, you don't need the greater side. You take
the
it
other
on its
side.
head like that.
Because what you want to do is just go through. แค่ให้มันผ่านๆเข้าไป
Correct. So now I need you to, we work
Okay.
together. All you do is,
It's a
you put
really
one-
good activity for a family on a Sunday after the church and everything.
Correct. Put it
So
on.
put it
Don't worry.
like that, right?
And all you do is you basically spread that over the holes. Another one, no problem. Perfect. Of course you can do that alone, you don't need to be 2, but it makes a lot more fun.
Yeah.
You see that? This is what we're looking for.
It looks so